What's up, guys, and welcome back to C&D Gaming. I'm Chase here with Dustin, and we got this is game number 8. We had a bye week last week for
Oh yeah.
7th week, so this is week 8 here of the Jet season. So let's get it
I was
going.
about to I was about to correct you and be like, bro, I think you're wrong, but I did forget we had that
Yeah,
bye week.
had
I'm
that
glad I
bye.
didn't. Pretend I didn't
Yeah,
say anything.
all right, had
That's
that bye
stupid.
week. Nah, you good?
We're gonna continue our fantasy talk today. Uh, so we're gonna talk about another position we've mentioned so far. We've talked about running backs, wide receivers. I think, bro. I think we're gonna
What you
talk
feeling
about
like?
quarterbacks this time. Yeah, I'm seeing Aaron Rodgers
Quarterbacks?
right here, and I'm
Yeah,
thinking quarterbacks might be a good
I
one.
just it seemed like a sign right there to talk about quarterbacks
Yeah,
on
as
this
soon
one.
as
So
I thought about it, he popped up. I mean, that was weird. So we're gonna roll with quarterbacks, see what we can think of. So we'll do what we've
all
been
right,
doing, do our top five and maybe a couple of honorable mentions, and kind of see how we feel about it. So,
that sounds good.
uh, if you want to kick us off this time, bro. Well, let me ask you something first though,
Okay,
because
go ahead.
we talked about it in one of our videos, but we didn't talk about it in our last one. I kind of wish we would have. But when do you think is a good time to pick a quarterback? Like when it comes to the rounds, or just your personal preference. When is it that you pick your quarterback in the league? And I'll tell you when mine is.
All
You
right,
know,
so my just me personal preference, which obviously it depends on how the draft's going. Number one, I mean that's the major thing depending on how the draft's going. But I would say what I seem to do the most is I think I'm picking my quarterback in the fifth or sixth round. That's when I usually pick one.
all right. Well, my answer is very simple. My answer is whenever everybody else starts doing it. So as soon as I see, I'm
Yeah,
telling you, bro, as soon as I see quarterbacks start flying, I'm gonna be ready to pick
you're
the one
right
I
there.
want. And the
All
thing is,
right.
like with a QB, yeah, I mean, obviously there's really good quarterbacks that's going to really carry your team, but there's most quarterbacks you can't really. I mean, there's some, but most of them are pretty solid no matter what.
Right.
Quarterbacks. There's plenty, is what my point is. There's plenty of people to pick from. So once you see them start
Yeah.
flying off the board, you want somebody particular, try to get them. Make sure you have
Yeah.
a backup plan though, and then kind of have a couple of people in your mind so you don't get somebody stolen from you. And then the thing for me is the guy that I want, I know I'm not going to have to worry about him going super early. So
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
pretty
That's
lucky
it.
in the mock drafts and stuff to get him. So
That's a good point, and I mean, that's cool because it's we're a little different in the way we think like that. But
yeah,
and I don't honestly the way I do it, I don't really have no reasoning behind it or nothing. But I just try to get either a couple wide receivers or a couple running backs first, maybe a tight end, and then I'll try to normally after that I'll just swoop in and get my quarterback. And then I'll start filling back my team in. So that's just the way I do it. I mean, everybody's
yeah.
different. So
All
let
right,
me get it.
that was my question. Yeah, I was just go
Yeah,
ahead though. Yeah,
that was a
top
good
five.
question. Yeah, so let me get it started off here. So I'm gonna go with some guys that maybe y'all won't agree with me with, but we about to find out. We about to find out. Just let us know in the comments. But so number one, I got to do this. This is my dog. He's gonna lead us to our first Super Bowl ever. I'm getting my guy Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers, number 9. Let's do this thing. He's a great quarterback, man. He's really smart. He's accurate, and I think that he can. I think he can be how C.J. Stroud was last year if we just get him a good offensive line and some better receivers, which we did. We did do that this year in the draft, so I'm really excited and looking forward to getting Bryce this season in fantasy.
Man, I don't hate that pick. I don't. I really don't. I feel the same way. I mean, I'm a big believer in Bryce. I mean, Panthers are my second team. I love them too. But
Yeah,
I mean, I feel the same way, man. Like, I mean, he had a lot of flashes last year. He had a tough season. He did. But
yeah.
I
I mean,
mean,
it was
it was all out
sack
of his hands,
sacked
really,
the
honestly.
most in the league last year. Think about
Yeah.
everybody makes fun of his size, how small he is, but the dude took the most sacks in the league last year, and he bounced back up every place.
But I say, little
Yeah,
man, strong dude. I mean, he
yeah,
gets hit, but he pops right back up every time. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
that's the thing. Like he was tough. He played through a lot of damage and stuff. And I mean, yeah, I don't see. I mean, I don't see a scenario at all where he goes backwards any. Like, it's just. I
Right.
think it's just going to be full steam ahead forward for him every year. He's just going to get better and better. I think that's a good pick, man. I mean, a lot of people are going to say, no, the Panthers suck, blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, I agree with you, bro. I think that's a good, solid choice.
I appreciate that, bro. That
Yeah, I
just
mean,
you just made
I'm
my
gonna be
day
honest
right
with
there.
you. Like I said, we're gonna be honest with each other. We'll
Yeah.
we'll tell each other when we think it's stupid, but I definitely think that's a good pick, man. I don't have anything against that.
Wow.
Okay, all right,
Nice run. Dustin about to score a first run of the game.
okay,
Oh, let's go.
all right, bro.
That was a good one.
So you got your man out the way, all right. You got
I
Young
got
out the
him.
way. I mean, that was obvious. You got to pick your boy. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
who you got next?
All right. So my next pick that I'm gonna say is Mr. Jared Goff from Detroit. Uh, I really like him, man. I liked him when he was with the Rams. He's not really a scrambling quarterback, more of a stand in the pocket thrower quarterback, and he's also very accurate and calm. And he led the Lions to the he led the Rams when he was with the Rams to the Super Bowl, and then he turned
Yep.
around and led the Lions to the playoffs for the first time in 30 some years. So Jared Goff, I think he's the guy that's going to be get you a lot of fancy points because he's got some really great receivers to throw the ball to.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of mentioned him a little bit in our other video when we was talking about St. Brown and stuff. He's just that calm guy, man. Just stands in the pocket,
Yep.
throws the ball, gets it out there. And I mean, I do feel like he's kind of always been like hated on for no reason, and he's had a lot of like negativity and stuff when he first was leaving the Rams and stuff. But
Right.
yeah, I agree with you, bro.
Absolutely.
He's a strong candidate for. I mean, I think he was already top 5 last year stat-wise. I'm pretty sure he was up there. I don't have it in
Yeah.
front of me, but I'm pretty sure that he was one of the top guys in the
Yeah.
passing,
I think it
stats and
was, and
stuff. So
he was slinging the ball, man. So I feel really good about that pick for anybody that wants to
oh yeah, that's
go with
solid.
Detroit in that one. Number 3. This one I don't know how you're gonna feel about this one. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna go with Mr. Brock Purdy. Um, this guy, I mean, you can't really hate the guy, man. I mean, he's just a kid. He come in the league, got an opportunity to start, took advantage of it, and he's done everything he's supposed to do. He's in there, he's throwing it, he's taking hits, and I think he's pretty well proved himself. And Purdy, he's a good pick. I mean, they got a stacked offense, and he's a quarterback who's gonna get you some points. So,
I'm gonna say something, okay?
all right.
I hate Brock Purdy, bro. And okay, let me tell you why though. It's not the same. Oh, I hate Brock Purdy because he's the system quarterback. Blah blah blah. No, let me tell
Right.
you, your team plays him twice a year, and I know Arizona sucks. I know they do. That's fine, whatever. But you play Brock Purdy twice a year and tell me that he's a system quarterback because he's not, bro. Dude, it just sucks, man. Like
Right.
you think he's not going to be good. You think one of their players goes down. You're like, oh, Debo gets hurt. Brock's he's done. Purdy's done. That's not going to be. No, he still figures out a way to make it work, dude. And it's so annoying. I can't stand playing against him. But to that point, I mean, yeah, man. Like I don't agree with a lot of stuff people say about him, and I mean, I think you're right. I mean, he's already proved that he can hang in there and. I mean, he stays in the pocket, stays calm. He has the ability to scramble too. He's got that in him.
Right.
I mean, I ain't got nothing to say, man. I wish I did. I wish I had a bunch of points to make against him because I don't like
Yeah.
him.
I knew
But,
you.
I mean, no, you're
I know
right.
you don't hate the 49ers, so I figured you might say a little bit. I'm surprised you did good. You held back, so
Yeah, I
proud
don't know.
of
Try to be nice.
All right. Moving on to number 4. Number 4, I'm gonna pick the old man, Mr. Ayahuasca, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, AA Ron. Um, I mean, you can't say nothing about him. I mean, he's already won a Super Bowl one time with Green Bay, and I think he's gonna do it with the Jets. Personally, I think he's gonna lead them to the playoffs, and they're gonna get it done. I don't know whether it's gonna be this year or the year after, but it's gonna make it happen. I believe that.
All right, well, I'm gonna disagree with you for just to be unbiased with all your picks, but I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan, man. I'm not a believer. I mean, I like he's a good quarterback, and I like watching him play, but I don't know, man. I think it's just kind of past his time.
Right.
I don't want to be that guy, but like, dude, I don't want him to get hurt. I don't ever want anybody to get injured except for people that I really hate. But I
Yeah.
just, I mean, I just don't see it, man. I don't know, like, if he has another repeat of what happened this year, dude, it's just like, what else can he do? You know, what I mean,
Right.
I hope it don't happen for his sake. I mean, I don't want him to get hurt, like I said, but I don't know, man. It's kind of iffy with Aaron Rodgers. You know, when he plays, when he's there, he's the man, dude. But it's just like he's so, the age is catching up with him, the injuries are catching up with him and stuff. I'm a little worried about that pick, but
Yeah.
that's still to my point.
If he can
It's a
stay,
gamble, but yeah,
if he can stay
it's a gamble
healthy,
worth taking though.
right? If he can stay healthy and the receivers they got there is amazing now. Garrett Williams they traded got Mike Williams, their tight end Conklin. I mean they got some good dudes on offense. So he's got some people to sling the rock to. If he can stay healthy and everything works out, so we'll see what happens. But I got high hopes, at least in fantasy wise, that he'll get y'all some points. So,
Yeah, like I said, I mean
yeah.
that's a gamble, but it's a gamble that's worth taking. So
All right. So my number 5 is a guy who's home Carolina's rival this year, um, Kirk Cousins, and that may be a surprise to some people. Honestly, because I got to be honest, I've never really been that high on Kirk Cousins when he first came in the league, when he was at Washington, and when he first went to Minnesota, I wasn't too happy about it. But I gotta say, he's a guy, man. You can't be mad at that guy, man. He proves you wrong. He works his ass off. He's just a good dude. He does what he's supposed to do, and he can sling the ball. And I think Atlanta's finally got the right quarterback to do the job, and I think he's going to be a great fantasy quarterback this year. Because I mean, his last 2 or 3 years in Minnesota has been really good. He gets a lot of points because he throws the ball. So
okay, well, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna
what's
go
up?
straight from your top five to my five because Kirk Cousins is on my list also.
Okay, all right,
So, number one for me, Kirk Cousins. Okay, same thing you said. I mean, dude, he's proved himself time and time again. I mean, dude just slings it. He's a slinger. He's a gunslinger. He just airs the ball out, man. Like they ain't no stopping him once he gets rolling, dude.
right,
Biggest concerns with him, I mean, yeah, he's getting up there in age and stuff too. Injuries. He is coming off of an injury himself and stuff. But I mean, same thing with Aaron Rodgers. Really, if he's out there and he's healthy, like you can bet on him that he's gonna do good for you. So, be a good pick, somebody to have. Oh, I seen
dude. I
that.
was I was hitting
I
your
know,
buttons.
I seen it.
God,
Sorry, man.
are you good?
But no, yeah, I mean, Cousins, a good choice, good guy to pick. Yeah, I might want to have a backup ready just because, like I said, that age and the injury risk and stuff's there. But
Right,
he's out there on the field, man. Like, you got a good, solid guy. And I mean, his receiver, they have. I mean, Atlanta's a little, iffy on their players and stuff. They're still kind of getting their groove and everything, but they do have some good receivers. They picked up a couple of guys in trades and stuff this year and stuff too. So
right.
it's it's definitely somebody I would consider.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Go with my number two. I'm gonna go with Anthony Richardson on this one. I've
Okay.
mentioned him a couple times. His names came up before in
Okay.
conversation and stuff.
It's a little
And I
different. It's a
mean,
little different.
I feel like same thing. I mean, the dude had an excellent season to start off with. First season in the league, he had a really good start. The injury did slow him down and stop him and stuff. And that happens. You can't really. It's hard to it's kind of hard to look at stats and injuries involved and predict what's going to happen next. But if he
Right.
comes back and he plays the way that he was playing, I mean, he proved a lot of people wrong already. He was kind of looked at as kind of the failed experiment kind of guy when he was coming in. Like people wasn't sure that Colts made the right choice and he wasn't really going to be that good. And there's a lot of talk around him not being, that great of a player. I mean, you
Right.
remember. But I feel like he proved a lot of people wrong and stuff. And I don't see any
Yeah, he
reason
did.
that, he wouldn't come back from injury
I
just as
think
good as he was when he
I
left.
think that was, I mean, I think that was just part of his problem. That he come in and he was playing. I mean, he was a ball player. He was playing ball, playing his butt off. But he's got to learn. He's young, so he's got to learn to protect his body a little bit more because I know he likes to
Yeah.
run the ball. But once he gets that, and figures that out, he's got a good long career ahead on him.
And he's got good weapons on this team. They
Oh
got a
yeah,
good solid team, really built on offense. Pretty decent anyway. So
oh yeah,
he gets it rolling. He should be in a good shape.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
Um, moving on here, I'm gonna save that guy for last. I'll go with this dude next. I'm gonna go with C.J. Stroud, another rookie coming into their
Okay.
second year. I'm big on these second year guys. I mentioned their names a lot and stuff, but I mean, it's hard not to be. You see the season that they had rookie year, and I mean, like to come in and play at the level that some of these guys played on their first year, it's crazy. I mean, it's something that's starting to happen more often than it
Yeah,
used to.
it is.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to bet against these guys when they come in and they do so well on their first year. They're like, why would they not be good on their second year? I mean, why would they not? That second year, it is a little bit of a challenge. Things get, you're starting to kind of get into the groove and stuff. But it really helps a lot of people. They start get a feel for the game better. They kind of get an idea of the speed and stuff. Gets really into the game, and that's a good thing. If they
Right.
can if they can adapt to that kind of stuff and they can continue to like learn and grow and stuff, man, like these dudes are going to be ridiculous. And I think Stroud's one of those guys that like he's got a good team built around him already. I mean, the Texans did amazing with what they had. I mean, they were playing
Yeah.
with scraps, kind of, threw a team together, and nobody expected much out of them. And they made it almost to the playoffs, right? I mean, they were there. They were
Oh, the other day
close.
they did make the playoffs. They lost to
Yeah,
the
like
Ravens.
early playoffs, yeah,
Yeah,
early playoffs. But I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I think the Stroud's gonna be on a whole nother level this coming year. I mean,
yeah. I agree with you. I mean, I know a lot of people was talking trash about Carolina about how dumb they was for not picking Stroud, which I'd have been happy with either way they went. Honestly, I didn't have nothing against either one of them. But I do think that Bryce got the short straw last year, and I think he's Bryce can be just as good as CJ, and they're both really good ball players. CJ just got to show it a little sooner, so but he's got a good career ahead on him for sure.
I think so, man. I do. Let's see. My next choice, I'm gonna go with Jordan Love. Jordan Love. I'm gonna go with Jordan
Jordan
Love on this one.
Love. Okay.
I mean, you know, kind of some similarities to some of the guys I said. He's still kind of young. He's still learning and stuff, but
Right.
he's really kind of felt like he's kind of gotten used to his role and he's really kind of settling in and stuff. And seems
Right.
like these last two seasons, maybe he's really started to kind of like show off a little bit. And last year got a really good year, and I mean I think they'll continue into this year. And I have a good feeling that he'll be uh, he'll be a good bet. I mean I don't think a lot of people is going to look at him early in the draft, so he might be a guy that falls a little bit. Good choice to have later in the later rounds and stuff if it's possible. But I
Yeah.
think it's worth the risk, to take him because I mean, same thing with Green
Oh
Bay.
yeah. I mean,
They've changed a little bit of stuff. They've got some new things going on, and I think they have a good potential to be a really good team this year.
yeah. I mean, yeah. They got a lot of. It's a young team. I mean, they got a lot of young ball players, but for them to play like they did last year and make the playoffs,
Yeah,
I mean, they got a good young squad, and if they stay together and keep playing like they're doing, I mean, the sky's the limit. So,
I saved the best for last.
all right, best
You
for
already know who I'm going
last.
to say, bro. You already
All
know.
right, all right. I had a feeling. I
Say
had a
it.
feeling he was coming.
You got to say it. Say it for me. I don't want to sound biased.
All right, Mr. K1, Kyler
Yeah.
Murray, Arizona Cardinal, baby.
Always. I'm always going to bet on K1, dude. Kyler is the man. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody on the internet, anybody in the world says. Kyler is the man when he is out there, when he's at his full potential. And we haven't seen his full potential, I don't think. I mean,
No,
he's
I
had
think
some
he's
good
still.
years. He's had some good stuff. But, dude, I'm telling you, he's been
Yeah.
held back a lot.
I
And the
think he's
way
still growing too as a player. I mean, I agree with you. I
That's
think.
true, and like yeah, and the way that the team is, I mean, I see a lot of stuff. I see a lot of their press conferences, their talks, their tweets. I pay attention to a lot of Arizona stuff that people don't probably unless they're fans, obviously.
Yeah.
But the way that they're talking, the way that the team's talking, the coaches, the way that Kyler's talking, bro, that seems like a team that's like they're hungry, they're ready to try to really. I'm not
Yeah.
saying they're gonna be Super Bowl. I'm not saying they're even gonna be in the playoffs, but I think they have a very good shot at making it very far in the season having a lot better of a record than people expect, and I think it's going to be led by Kyler. I mean,
Yeah.
he's always been our secret weapon, but I think he's going to have a good chance this year to not do the things that he's had to do before. He don't have to play the hero ball. He don't have to spend his whole game, running for his life and trying to make plays out of nothing. He's going to be able to sit back in the pocket and really show his passing abilities, which he's a very good passer.
Right.
And I think that's going to be really something that's going to be very helpful for him in general, and it's going to really help his fantasy stats a lot too, which he already has fantastic fantasy stats. He's usually one of the top. I mean, when he has a full season, he always won the top fantasy guys anyway. And I mean, last year he had 8 games and he was already on track to have some of the best passing stats in the league just from his 8 games. I mean, he
Right.
was working his way. If he'd have played a full season, he probably would have had top 5 quarterback stats.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, I know I've said a lot
Absolutely.
about him, but that's
No, you
I got
good.
a lot of passion for a guy like that. And
Yeah.
I
No,
think
you're
he,
good. I mean,
he
that's
gets a
why.
lot of hate, man. It's kind of like you said with Bryce. Like people look
Yeah.
at him and say, "Oh, this, that," but I really focus on that team, and I really see what happens, and I really think that he's going to prove a lot of people wrong this year, and it's going to be a good year for him. And I think he's wanting to do that. And I mean, you
Yeah.
got a player that's hungry, trying to prove something. It's got a new, refreshing team, new coaching system and stuff, and really gets to go at it. I think you get a lot of good stuff out of guys like that, and that's going to be him
Oh
this
yeah.
year.
I agree with you, man. I mean, just like you said with Carolina, Arizona's like my second team, man. Because they're your favorite team, and I support you no matter what. So of course I'm gonna go for Arizona too. And they're I don't know, they got a different feeling this year. You know what I mean? They
That's a
feel
vibe, dude. I'm feeling it. Yeah.
they're more connected. It feels like than ever. And I think some people better watch out because Arizona's gonna surprise a bunch of people. I mean, and
I think
they
so too, man.
if you go back and look, I mean, they wasn't horrible last year. Like they won a bunch of games last year. They just didn't win enough. But they
Yeah.
got some more pieces this year. They got enough to get the job done. So um, I like it, man. I like it. I'm excited for Kyler and Bryce. I think this is gonna be a really good year. Bryce is gonna shut a lot of people up, and I think Kyler's gonna lead the Cardinals to the playoffs, no doubt.
I hope so, bro. I hope so. I'm gonna throw my honorable mentions out real fast. I ain't gonna talk too much about him, but I'll just a little small talk about him. I got 2 honorable mentions. Minshew is one of them. I've already talked a little bit about him. I feel like he's gonna go and pair up with Devontae Adams very well. We talked about it in our last video.
Yeah, that's a
Uh,
good one.
I think he's gonna be good with the Raiders. And I'm gonna go with Sam Darnold from my other one.
Okay.
Darnold's a guy that's been around for a while and he's had a lot of different experiences and stuff. But going to the Vikings, being with Jefferson, being with some of those guys, I think he'll it won't take him long. He'll get connected. He'll do very good with that team.
Ah, man, that was a touchdown. He didn't get stuck.
I know, I see that, buddy.
Yeah, I like that. I like that's two pretty good, solid picks. I mean, uh, Minshew. I mean, he's a great quarterback, man. He's love his attitude. He's such a positive attitude. He's been the backup, been the starter at places too, but he always got a positive attitude. And I mean, he's a ball player too. I mean, he's not just, he don't just play like a backup. He plays like a starter. So I think
Absolutely.
yeah. And Sam Darnold. I mean, I don't know. Sam Darnold. I mean, he was a Carolina
You can
Panther
disagree with
for
me,
a
bro. It's all right.
year. Yeah, I mean, Sam Darnold's a great team player. I'll say that. I don't want to say nothing bad about him because I mean he's a great team player and he can play ball. Um, so I mean they got a really good shot with Sam Darnold and he'll be a great leader and person to teach JJ uh, McCarthy, I should say, not Justin Jefferson, but
Yeah.
their new rookie quarterback. So he'll be a good teacher and mentor. I like
That
that.
is one thing with Darnold I'm slightly concerned about. I wouldn't, like I said, I mean, he's not somebody I would definitely, obviously, not reach for. He's just somebody that, if you have a chance to grab him. But, picking him up, you have the expectations of that he might not play the whole season. He
Yeah.
might come in, play a couple of games. He might come in, play half the season, and their rookie takeover. So I mean, he's somebody that you can have on your team, but I would be careful with. If he's available and no one has him, snag him. He's probably gonna have a good couple of games for you. Good feeling, guy on some bye weeks and stuff maybe. But like I said, have that expectation that he might not be there for the whole season. He might not be playing the whole season as the starter. So
Yeah, I could see it.
2 honorable mentions you got. You got two. You got two
Yes,
guys.
one of them. I'm gonna say Derek Carr might surprise some people, but I mean another one of them solid veteran guys that you can't bet against, and A lot of people forget about him, but he's still around. And he can still sling the ball. So I'd definitely say Derek Carr would be a good solid pick. Maybe not one of the top ones, but later on he's gonna win some ball games for you.
Yeah, I
And
feel you there. And I mean, they got some speedy guys on their team too, man. He got some fast dudes. If he can get the ball to them, it's gonna be hard to stop them. So that's a good
oh
pick.
yeah.
So yeah,
All right, so let's see. Look at my list real quick here. I had a guy in mind. Where'd he go? Okay, I'm gonna just stay in the NFC South, man. I'm gonna say Baker Mayfield. Also, Baker Mayfield, as everybody knows, he come in the league, drafted by the Browns, led them to the playoffs one year for the first time in their 30 whatever some years. Also, he got hurt. They kind of had a little falling out with the Browns, so they released him. He bounced around. Ended up in Carolina. That didn't work out, which honestly it wasn't really Baker's fault. It's just our coaches and fault, to be honest. I'm not gonna put that on Baker. And
on the Rams for a little while too. Yeah.
and yeah, the Rams signed him for just a little bit, like half of a season.
Yep.
So he's with there, and then ended up in Tampa. Had a really good career year last year, and I think he's going to continue where he left off last year. So I definitely think Baker would be a solid pick.
I agree with you there, bro. Always Baker. Baker's the guy I always think about.
Oh yeah,
Dude, I don't know. I'm sorry. What the hell is going on? This fumbling is
I'm
crazy.
confused, dude.
We've had like 10 fumbles in like the last two
Yeah.
minutes.
Hey, I'm getting my goal though. I just caused him a forced fumble. So
That's true.
like we
Yeah.
said at the beginning.
Yep. All right. Well, how about this? We always finish our videos off on this. You got any quarterbacks, team guys that you want to avoid? Anybody that you say, do not get this quarterback, do not grab this guy. I mean, honestly, you can play off of what you said with the receivers. I feel like, and they could pretty much be the same, to this. I mean, the same team you said for the receivers might be the same way. I mean, with the quarterbacks too. Honestly, what do you think? I mean,
Yeah. I mean, honestly, uh, the Patriots got what they drafted two rookie quarterbacks, I believe.
I don't
Uh,
know, man. Their team's confusing.
yeah, but
Probably though. Yeah, you're
so
right. I'm sorry.
I don't know. That just depends. I'm really not sure about how that's gonna go. Oh my goodness. But who I had in mind was what I was gonna say was if I definitely stay away from this guy right here, Daniel Jones. Stay away from the Giants. Stay away from Daniel Jones. In my personal opinion, he's got this season to prove himself. If not, he's out the door, and they're going to be getting a new quarterback. What do you think about that?
No, yeah, solid. I have nothing against Daniel Jones, but yeah, honestly, I feel like he just. It's hard. It's hard to say. Like, he has. He just. It's just something not clicking with him. Him and the team, they're just not clicking.
Yeah,
Something's just not going right with him. And I think that he might need a refresh. He might need to. He might need a change of scenery to kind of get things
right.
going for him and stuff again. So I hope the best for him, man. But
Oh yeah, no
yeah, he's
doubt.
somebody I would. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't
And
try to get.
somebody else, I would say, just to say one more is I say steer clear of both of the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterbacks because anytime you got a situation like that, it seems like it never works out good. So I would just be weary of drafting Russell Wilson or Justin Fields for the
Yeah,
Steelers.
it's funny because in the last video you mentioned one of the receivers on our team.
Well,
It's
yeah,
funny, but you're right. Though. I mean, you get the receiver, leave the quarterbacks on the bench because
right,
like Pickens, like whoever's throwing to him, he's going to do solid no matter what. But yeah, you can't tell what's going to happen with the quarterback situation there, so that's a good idea.
yeah,
I'm gonna say mine's going to be Deshaun Watson, dude. I mean,
okay, yeah. That makes
you
sense.
know, he was good before all the stuff happened of him sitting out, and obviously the legal issues and stuff. We're not gonna get into that, but he was good, a good quarterback. Had looked like his future was gonna be bright, but ever since he set that year out and had the suspension and stuff, man, he's just not been the same. And with the Browns, there's not a whole lot going on with their team right now. They're kind of in a sort of kind of in a limbo period right now. They ain't really got a lot going on. They're not doing bad. They're not doing good. They're just kind of there. And I mean, you got a guy like him who's not really, he gets injured. He plays a game. He's out of game. He plays a game. He's just so back and forth, man. You can't really rely on him.
Right.
Because I mean, he's sat out half the year. He played half the year. He comes in. He's rusty. He plays half a game. He goes. I mean, there's no consistency with him. So I would
Yeah.
definitely stay away from. I would really stay away from just about anybody on the Browns, except for a few players. But he's one of the guys that, quarterback wise, if I wouldn't even have. I mean, personally, I wouldn't even have him as my backup quarterback because you don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
you might have him on the
Yeah.
bench expecting him to fill in for you, and that time comes around and he's got a cramp and you don't play that game because I mean,
Yeah.
that's just seems to
That's
be
a
what happens.
that's a good point because I don't. I mean, I don't think. I don't think he's played up to anybody's expectations since he came back into the league and tried to start again. And I mean, he just been getting by last season, but if he don't, I'd say if he don't do something this year, maybe the next year because he's got that big contract that they signed with him, they'll probably be looking to try to get rid of him eventually.
Yeah, feels that way, man.
Yeah.
Sucks they spent on that money and they had to lose him, but
Yeah, I
live
know,
and you
right?
learn, right? But yeah, I mean, I think that wraps it up pretty good for quarterbacks. I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty good, pretty solid
say the
list.
same thing I always say. I mean, we're just trying to give you what we think is the best advice we can, but we're not experts, so don't be mad if you pick the people we said and you lose. No, but I mean, just let us know what you think. Leave us your opinion. Leave us the guys that you
Yeah,
think
tell
will
us,
be good choices, some guys to avoid. We like we
tell
like
us,
the interaction and stuff.
tell us how dumb we are for not saying Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson,
Yeah,
just
I mean, yeah,
I
Joe
mean,
Burrow, yeah.
I don't know about Dustin, but I was trying to avoid them to be honest, because I mean everybody knows they're good and they're gonna play ball, but I'm trying to think some guys that maybe it's kind of like a middle of the pack guys. So
Yeah. Well,
that
like I
was
said,
my
I think
thinking.
last video, it's the hidden gem guys. We're trying to talk about the
Yeah,
guys that you might not think about that, might be able to slip down the board. You can get in a good grab and stuff.
oh yeah,
Because obviously, like, you just said, the big name players and stuff, it's obvious. I wouldn't worry about those big names and stuff. But, yeah, I mean, that's it for it. I mean, what we said, take it, leave it, whatever you think. Like I said, tell us like Chase said, tell us if you think it's stupid, tell us if you think it's a good idea. You got some,
yeah.
you got some better names, some better people that let us know. Uh, Feedback, like I said, we love the feedback and the interaction.
Hey, do us a favor and share the video with your buddy, man. Go show your buddy and show him how dumb we are. Let us know, man. Yeah, give us some love. We definitely would appreciate it.
Yeah, and if you're not watching along, if you're just listening, you can check us out on YouTube and see the video that goes with it. I mean, it's just a little bit of gameplay and stuff, and share the podcast, share the video, whichever way you can. Just like see what they think. Maybe compare your guys' top five with each other, kind of like we did here, and see how it goes. And leave us a comment, letting us know what happened. We'd appreciate to see it.
Oh yeah. Y'all have a good week. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all stay safe, and we'll catch you on the next video.